morning, and welcome to BASECAMP, the best way to start your day. I'm Jack, and I'm really glad that you joined us. BASECAMP is a tool that helps you develop the habit of spending daily time with God. Have you ever had a garden or grown any vegetables? Well, growing up, my family always loved to garden, to plant flowers throughout my whole childhood because my mom absolutely loves it. Recently, her garden with much assistance has reached new heights. So here's a picture of what the garden looked like this year. There's zucchini, tomatoes, cucumbers, all kinds of peppers, tomatoes, onions, blackberries, raspberries, lettuce, more tomatoes, and 20 plus varieties of some beautiful flowers. All within this rectangle in our backyard. This big garden takes a lot of work, and my mom spends nearly 8 hours out there each week during the peak times, pulling weeds, watering everything in order for the crops to grow. And all that hard work is rewarded with some very delicious veggies and berries and lots of bouquets of beautiful flowers. But she doesn't do it alone. Here's some of her best helpers. Featured here is Mari, which many of you know her. She is the best weeder around and a fantastic flower saleswoman. And also there's Pap, who that's my mom's dad, and he's the gardening patriarch in the family. He taught my mom how to garden and did it with her throughout her childhood. And finally, our dog Cooper. He doesn't help at all. Sometimes he actually eats some of the stuff, which is the opposite of helpful. Anyway, my mom could not do it without those who help so consistently, like Mari and Pap. Not like Cooper though. Could you imagine if your farm looked like this though? How many hours would you have to put in at this seemingly endless farm in order to produce a good harvest? Probably a lot. Jesus says that we need to be farmers. Not farmers in the vegetable sense, but in the people sense. In today's passage in Luke 10:1-2, and you can go ahead and open there now, Jesus gives instructions to his disciples before sending them out to go be missionaries to the surrounding places. Here's what Jesus says in Luke 10, verses 1 and 2. The Lord now chose 72 other disciples and sent them ahead in pairs to all the towns and places he planned to visit. These were the instructions given to them. The harvest is great, but the workers are few. So pray to the Lord who is in charge of the harvest. Ask him to send more workers into his fields. Now, this analogy is not actually about fields and crops, but about people who don't know Jesus across the world. We talked a couple weeks ago about unreached people groups, the people that have never heard about Jesus, and they need to be told about Jesus in order to know him. Those people who go out and are missionaries are the people that are the workers in this passage. The BASECAMP bottom line for today is this. There are lots of people who will know Jesus. We just have to do our part. I'm going to say that one more time. There are lots of people who will know Jesus. We just have to do our part. And here's the most encouraging part of the passage for me. There is a harvest to be had. Just like my mom's garden, all of her hard work does not go to nothing. She gets veggies and berries and flowers out of it. And that's the case for those who are workers and missionaries for the Lord as well. The Lord promises us that the harvest is great. Our efforts to reach those around us and those across the world will not be for nothing. People will come to know Jesus. And here are the two ways that this passage should be applied to our daily lives. The first is to go to those who do not know Jesus. And they're all around you every day, at school, on your teams, in your clubs and bands, in your family, all around you. So be bold in sharing Jesus with them. And there's also those people who've not yet heard of Jesus, so we need to go to them. So secondly, we need to pray that more workers go out into the harvest, that more people would go to those who have not yet heard. We need more workers in the field. We need more people to leave the comfort of their own home and go to those who have not yet heard of Jesus. Have a great day, and we'll see you back here on Friday for another version of BASECAMP.